At first, this case didn't look like a crime. It looked like an accident. The kind of thing that happens quietly inside a home with no witnesses and no obvious signs of violence. When police arrived, they didn't see broken doors. They didn't see a struggle. Everything looked normal. Too normal. The victim was found inside their own house. There was no sign that anyone had forced their way in. No alarm bells went off. And because of that, investigators initially believed this would be a short case. Something tragic but simple. They were wrong. One of the first people police spoke to was someone close to the victim. Someone who had been around not long before the death. He didn't avoid police. He didn't hesitate. In fact, he spoke to them right away. He answered questions calmly. He didn't seem nervous. He didn't rush his words or get defensive. He explained where he had been, what he had seen, and when he had left. To investigators, he looked like a cooperative witness. And cooperation matters. Because in most cases, guilty people try to distance themselves. They disappear. They avoid questions. They act uncomfortable. This man did the opposite. He stayed involved. Over the next few days, he checked in with police, asked if there were updates, offered to help however he could. He repeated his story when asked and never seemed bothered by the questions. Slowly, police began to trust him. Not because they decided to, but because nothing about him felt wrong. As the investigation continued, the case started to slow down. There were no strong suspects. No clear evidence pointing to murder. Everything still looked like an accident. And during this time, the helpful witness began doing something subtle. He started offering explanations. He talked about timelines. Suggested how the accident might have happened. Helped police understand the victim's routine. Without realizing it, investigators allowed his version of events to become part of the case. The person who caused the death was helping shape the investigation. For a while it worked. Weeks passed. The case lost momentum. Attention shifted to other investigations. Until one small detail came back into focus. During a routine review of the case, a detective noticed something minor. A statement the witness had made early on didn't quite match another piece of information in the file. On its own, it wasn't enough to matter. But once it was noticed, it couldn't be ignored. Detectives looked closer. They compared his statements side by side. They noticed his timelines changed slightly each time he told the story. Not enough to be obvious. Just enough to adjust to new information. Then came the moment that made everything uncomfortable. The witness mentioned a detail about the scene that had never been released to the public. It was something only police or the killer should have known. At first, investigators tried to explain it away. Maybe he guessed. Maybe he misunderstood. But doubt had already settled in. Quietly, without telling him, police reclassified the case. What had once been treated as a possible accident was now considered suspicious. They sent one overlooked piece of evidence back for testing. And when the results came back, the truth became clear. The death had not been accidental. It had been staged. And the person responsible wasn't a stranger. It was the man who had been helping them from the beginning. The man they trusted. The man who never left the investigation's side. Police called him back in for another interview. Same room. Same chair. Same calm posture. But this time things were different. Detectives didn't accuse him right away. They simply asked him to walk through the night again. Slowly. Carefully. And for the first time he hesitated. That hesitation was small. But it was enough. Investigators confront the killer with the evidence he didn't know he left behind, and how helping police became the very thing that exposed him.